Hello again, my slow-moving friend. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy day of chasing ladies to move even slower and connect with yourself. It's good to be with you. Whether you are incessantly playing loud music, trying to protect your house, or in hot pursuit of someone to love, I hope that after our time together, you feel a little bit more spaciousness in your experience. A little bit more room for whatever is coming up in your experience. The good, the bad, and the slimy. Today we'll be continuing our practice of equanimity. Equanimity is a fancy little word that can pretty literally be translated to an even mind, and more loosely defined as a sense of composure and calmness, even in a difficult situation. Equanimity plays a prominent role in a variety of religious, spiritual, and cultural traditions, which sometimes emphasize that it is not a cool, detached, aloof kind of calm. Being equanimous is not the same as being apathetic or disinterested. Rather, the idea is that equanimity is a warm, caring space of compassionate well-regard. In my own experience, though, trying too hard to be equanimous can really push you farther away from it. This can be true for meditation in general. Striving for something, exerting effort towards a specific imagined goal can be really exhausting. Sometimes we get what we want, and it creates conflict. We bump the volume on our music only to get bopped on the head, sent to a corner, and then smashed by a giant slug masquerading as a snail. Or we get not one, but a whole hillside of girlfriends smothering us in affection, only to have a grain of salt blown into our faces. In my estimation, it's not that it's bad to want things. Knowing what you want is actually immensely powerful, and there are many really valuable and worthwhile dreams. But I do think that it's important to take time to consider what you want, why you want it, and the lengths you're willing to go to get it. And even then, we often don't get what we want. We are often dealing with circumstances in life that are less than ideal. And so it can be really helpful and important to have some ways of dealing with hard situations. One strategy is fight harder, but sometimes that isn't enough. Or we decide that it isn't worth the harm it might cause to someone else. So another strategy is equanimity. You can sit in the corner and think about your life. And in that space, when we slow down, sometimes we discover we were chasing the wrong thing, that we're actually okay without it. Or that if we're desperately looking for a certain kind of love, we may be overlooking the love and support of the friends who are trying to help us. Maybe we can't emulate the spinning swords and sick beats of someone else, but we can find our own groove. Equanimity is one word we can use to think about that space of softening in the midst of so much wanting. Taking a moment to connect with the things we do have, with the parts that are okay, and with the bigger picture that surrounds our intense thoughts, feelings, and difficulties. And it's not about forcing those hard things to change, but about honoring the ways that we are already coping with them and observing the ways that they can change all on their own with time. See, it's simple. Just try doing all that. No, but for real, no getting it wrong. Whatever comes up, and you can always walk away and try something else. But for now, let's give it a go and see what happens. So here at the beginning, finding or welcoming or exploring whatever posture you want. Maybe a posture that's familiar to this practice, or maybe you're sprawled out. And this itself is enough. Just sitting, just standing, just hammocking, or gently pacing. Already, experience may begin to shift simply by calling our attention to the way that our body is right now. If you'd like, you can begin with a few deliberate breaths, really filling the space of the belly and chest, and then letting it go. Allowing whatever surface tension to slough off you, and accepting any other parts of your body that are bracing or tense to be there. Already our attitude is not one of coercion or strong desire, just one of permitting, of welcoming. Whatever parts of your experience you notice right now are probably parts that were with you before we started. And you already have strategies or ways of being with these things. We're not bargaining or bracing against them. We're simply allowing the things that want to be let go to let go. Anything that doesn't want to let go, we can just let be. Maybe at this point you have a familiar anchor or something consistent in your practice that feels supportive as you settle in a non-linear kind of way. Attention is loud. Your brain diligently supplies things to worry about, to care about. And you can gently bring it back to something that feels neutral or good, stable. And of course, this process can happen dozens or hundreds or thousands of times. The mind is so good at finding things. We don't have to fight that. You don't need to make your mind quiet or even more focused than it is. But you can gently, patiently, and kindly welcome it back to some part of your experience that feels more simple, maybe a little more clear. And what your attention rests on matters less than the attitude or composure that you bring to it. As we move with our attention and its flighty fidgetity or whatever it's doing, our attitude isn't one of controlling, but one of gentleness, of patience. And if that feels impossible, if the experience of recognizing that your mind is wandering or ruminating, if all you can feel is tightness, if resistance is the thing that is showing up for you, then can you be gentle and patient with that resistance? Can you let resistance or cyclical thoughts or tension in your mind or around your eyes or wherever it is in your body, to simply be there. You don't have to let it go. You can just let it be. But then maybe there's a third tier. Even as I'm inviting you to let it be, you can't. You came to this meditation for a reason. You had an intention. This thing that's causing you pain is really causing you pain. Something is untenable or unbearable, and you just need it to be different. Can you be okay with that needing it to be different? Maybe this practice isn't going to work. Maybe after this, you're going to need to talk to a friend or scream or eat some ice cream or watch TV or distract yourself or any number of things. Can you allow your focus to want those things? Can you accept that even if this doesn't work, this is what you're doing for now? And as long as it isn't making it excruciatingly harder, can you welcome that resistance too? And this can go on and on like this. You invite equanimity, this invitation to be okay with your experience as it's arising. And in the space of that okayness, in the space of that welcome, you identify the things that don't feel okay. With warmth and gratitude and patience, as much or as little as you have, you allow that to be okay. Or maybe this is all actually going quite splendidly, and simply holding your attention in this way, this warm, accepting space, is actually making things a little bit easier. You may still have parts of your experience that you don't like, that you react against, or cause you discomfort or agitation or boredom. But in setting down the resistance to those things, it becomes a little more easy, a little more spacious. Maybe. Maybe not. And that's equanimity. All right, friend. Thank you for this time, for your practice. If you ever get lost in this new skill of equanimity, as always, don't feel afraid to fall back on a practice of concentration or clarity or any other sort of technique that works for you. Just do whatever you want, man, as long as it comes from the inside. I'm grateful for you trying this thing. Some part of me hopes it gets a little less weird for you, and another part of me hopes that it always stays weird. So, whatever your day or night or other method of measuring space-time has in store for you, I wish you ease and I wish you spaciousness. Until next time.